So today on Idiots Go Running, we have Declan. Say hello, Declan.
Hello.
On our show, we've got a guest who likes to run. Do they really? Do they jog around the place just for fun? That's not fun. Are they a professional athlete? Nope. Lining at the start with the elite? It don't matter. We've got a guest on our show because we asked and they didn't say no. It don't matter because our show has a guest. It does. Pretty much because we asked and they said yes.
How are you?
I am very well. Just coming back into running again. I was out injured for a wee while. So now finally back to the nice base fitness that I have. Whenever I first started running about 10 years ago, I got myself up to the marathon fitness, and my goal was never to drop marathon fitness off. So realistically, I wanted to be in a position if somebody says, "Hey Declan, here's a marathon tomorrow, would you like to do it?" I'd like to be in the position to do that. And over the last 14 weeks, I haven't been in that position. But yeah, I've finally built myself back up again. So in a good place again.
Well, that's good. You sound like the perfect person for Idiots Go Run. Now, as an idiot who runs, I use running as a lifestyle. So it's more not being marathon fit. But on the time of recording this, I have 2 marathons this weekend. And I don't train or prep for marathons. I just say, let's give it a go. So Declan, you don't have to always be marathon fit if you're looking for a PB. Are you the type of guy that looks for a PB or looks for your PR? Is it PB or PR?
I think it's PB. I think it's PR more of an American term.
Could be.
Or personal record, personal bests. I would go PB. Definitely, I would go PB with it. So
it runs better, doesn't it, off your tongue?
I don't tend to chase PBs. They come if they come. I have trained hard for probably 2 out of the 70-something marathons I've done, and I've PB'd in 2 of those. But yeah, generally speaking, I run for me and just the purpose of getting out and about. And I think you said about the probably more of a social thing for me. Lifestyle thing, just getting out and about and chatting to people, visiting new places, running in new areas. And exploring laneways and roads that people maybe have never ran down in many years.
Yeah, because our first encounter with you and me was in the Dungiven aid station, and about 60 miles deep in an ultra where my brother had kind of went to the toilet too long. His blood pressure dropped and he needed to lie down, and I had a bit of free time to kill. And you were sitting there looking fresh because you were helping out in the aid station.
Indeed.
What brought you there?
Because I was meant to be running the event.
No. What happened?
So I spent all winter training for the Northern Ireland 100 without actually probably admitting to myself that I was entering it. I entered it 2 weeks out. I messaged Gary and said, "Do you know me, Gary? Last minute entry. I've put the training in. I didn't want to scud myself by entering it and risking injury or something happening. I've trained really well. I've covered X amount of distances, and we can go into a few of the things I've done, really stupid things. Get me in." So he sent me the link, got a place, perfect. A week before the event, I was down at Mary Peters Track, competing in the team trophy, doing multi-events, and I did a 400-meter hurdle race. I had never hurdled before that week in my life before, so I had a week's training. On the Monday, I attempted to go over the senior height hurdles for the first time ever and fell on my butt. By Tuesday, I was down at the track. I could manage to cover 2 of the hurdles. Thursday night, I competed in my first ever 400-meter hurdle race. Got laughed at by many, many there. And on Sunday, I was competing again. I tore a ligament in my ankle competing. A week before the Northern Ireland 100. Probably should have stopped at that stage, but continued to compete on the javelin, hammer, discus, and in the 4x400 meter relay. Looked at my ankle just before the 400 relay, and it was twice the size it should have been. It was throbbing, but our team was in a pretty good position at this stage, and I was the last person to run the leg of the relay. So sort of sucked it up and just went for it, and ran around the track as fast as I could. And the next day I woke up, ankle black and blue, 3 times the size it should be, in denial for about 2 to 3 days. Probably by the Wednesday, I posted into a couple of ultra running groups about it. I said, would I be a little bit stupid to run on this? And the consensus was yes. So a lot of the sort of real hardcore people that you maybe would think, yeah, you can run through that there, we're saying, no, just don't do it. So it was another email to Gary, and it was like, hey, Gary, sorry, I can't do this here now. And that was it. I was sitting at home on the Saturday evening watching the dots across the screen, because I was like, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to help. I'm just going to sit at home and stew in my own thoughts and mope about here. And it took till about 10 o'clock that night, the Saturday night, where I just couldn't settle watching the dots. Jumped in the car, drove to Dungiven, and ended up helping most of the night. I think it was 8 the next morning. I sort of dropped over and went over to Junior Park Run, where I was due to help over at that there as well. So yeah, it was a great experience. That's my second year effectively helping. I was an official helper the year before. I'd done the mini version as well. So I've done the Northern Ireland Mini, the Northern Ireland 100 Mini, and then this year I was going to go back and do it. So I have a deferred place, so I will go back next year and complete it.
Oh, you'll be, you could be beside me, because I think I might join. And right, let's clear something up, because when you said you've done the Northern Ireland Mini, how far is the Mini?
The Mini is a 37-mile run.
Exactly.
Yeah,
people will hear Mini. People will hear Mini, and people are going to think, oh, it must be 13 mile or a half marathon or a 5K. It's not. It's still an ultra marathon. So you're still technically running an ultra marathon. But Gary and Gillian, who have been on the show, who I think are great and love running and are great people, call it a Mini, and it's a bit of I think it's their thing, Declan, because they say it's the Northern Ireland 100. And how far is the Northern Ireland 100?
108 miles.
108 miles. Okay. And he goes, well, sure, it's just another 8 miles. That's my impression of Gary, by the way. But yeah, sure, it's another 8 miles. Northern Ireland Mini is 37 miles. And recently there was a Causeway Coast Ultra that was 39 miles. And, you know, what's longer, the Ultra or the Mini? They're both there.
Absolutely. They do tend to do this. There was a race they were part of, the Lakeel Way, and they called it a 50k.
Yes.
And of course it was a 53k, with the last 3k on the beach. Do you know, and you're just like, come on, like, why would you do this? Because you're looking at your watch and, I've hit 50k, and it's a surprise extra 3k that day. It's a bit, I think it must be something in them there where they go, but you know what? There's something about that where you don't want to run 100 miles and cross the finish line at 99. Yeah. Because that would just suck. So I'm happy to have that extra 8 miles, to have it in the bank, to go, I'm definitely going to hit 100 miles. Yeah, so, for sure.
I was on your Instagram, and obviously you do a lot of coaching, and behind you we have, so this will go on to YouTube. If anyone has a look behind Declan and see his medals. You said they're about 6 deep, aren't they? Yeah.
They're sort of,
you can hear them
quite a bit there. So I've lost count. I really don't know how many are up there, but that's a curtain pole, and it's extended out there as well. So that's
very good. And does it extend further?
It does extend further, but I've got a wee board just up there as well with a few on it too. So
you might have to get a few more curtain poles. You could cover your wall. I could be wallpaper. And I spot a medal in the background here. For anyone who is listening, go on to YouTube and have a watch. The very end one is the Belfast Marathon 2024.
This one here, 23. Yes. 23.
Oh, 23. I got that one. You were on the same race as me.
2023. So I think I was dressed as a potato that day.
Okay.
Or 2023. No, I apologize. That was the one I done in Crocs. So I ran 2023 in Crocs, dressed as a crocodile. So
so you ran as a crocodile, but you ran in Crocs.
I was a croc in Crocs. Yeah. With crocodile socks.
Okay.
So
of course. So Crocs. How's it run the marathon in Crocs?
It was an experience, to say the least. I'd I was just about to lie to you and say I'd never ran before in Crocs. I actually had never wore a pair of Crocs till a week before the marathon. And I'd done Dungannon Park Run in the Crocs, and it was my first time ever putting a pair of Crocs on my feet and attempting to run in them. So I'd done the 5K in about 24 minutes, and I thought, yeah, this is fine. This will be grand. Probably underestimated how much they will hurt, and the blisters that I got at the end of my toes from gripping the Crocs and keeping them on my feet because I bought them probably 2 sizes too big as well.
No. I throw on my son's Crocs the odd time when I'm going out to the bins, classy Belfast, going out to the bins in a pair of Crocs. You have to do it. People drive by, people probably criticize you, and I'm going, you're on your way down the road to work, yet I'm putting a bag of rubbish in the bin in my Crocs. So who's living their best life?
Absolutely.
But they're too small, and the Crocs actually really hurt my toes, and that's just from the distance to the bin and back. Were they actually legitimate Crocs, or were they sort of...
Oh, they were. Yeah, they were Crocs.
They were real.
Not what do they call the fake Crocs? Frocks?
Frocks, yeah, because you don't want to do... Yeah, you don't want to do Belfast Marathon in a frock, do you?
No, definitely not. I was going to say, have I done a marathon in a frock? No, I haven't. I've done a 5K in one, but not a marathon yet. There is... Now, the reason I done the Belfast Marathon in Crocs was previous to me looking at... I sort of have a set myself wee small stupid targets, and one of those is to get myself a Guinness World Record. So I had looked at the Guinness World Record and realised that nobody had ran a marathon in Crocs before. So that was my goal. And I think 3, potentially 4 weeks before Belfast was London Marathon, and some really fast club runner in London ran a marathon in like 2 hours 35 in Crocs.
In Crocs?
It's like, well, there goes my attempts. But I had agreed to do it, so I couldn't back out at that stage. But somebody else, because there's a friend of mine who has ran London dressed as a bear, and we were both looking at different world records. I think to this date, there has been no man has completed a marathon in stilettos yet. So
there's probably
a reason why, yeah.
Yeah, because see that ligament damage you would get in stilettos.
Yeah. So
I can't walk in stilettos, although I shouldn't say that publicly because I've never put them on, honestly.
I have never tried. I will go with it. I have never tried.
Thank you. Yeah. Neither have I. It came out of my mouth and I thought, that guy's wearing stilettos. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, Declan, whatsoever. Your choice of footwear is your choice of footwear. Also, another thing I came across on your Instagram was you have a dog, and I recently have been diagnosed with a dog from my wife. You love dogs. I'm very busy that I don't need the extra, but look, I love the dog. Let's be honest. I'm not going to get no people coming on the show going, he hates dogs, he's a bad person. I love the dog. A wee collie, and we were chatting previously about it. How long can I bring my collie for? He is currently probably 4 months, maybe less. I really should know that, but maybe 4 months old, say 3 months old. How far can I bring my collie for a run, or how does that work? I want an ultra dog.
Yeah, so I think they say if you want to sort of protect the ligaments and the preventive arthritis and stuff like that there, so you take them for a 5-minute walk effectively for every month that they are.
Okay.
But whenever I go into the trails and mountains with the dog and I'm walking, they're running anyway. So you're sort of like, oh, you're only meant to walk, but if you sort of limit it to 20, 25 minutes, they're going to run around, get a sniff and things or get there. But generally speaking, once it's over the 12 to 18 months mark, that's whenever you can take them for, as long as they can go. So our older one, the brown a Cocker Spaniel called Penelope, she'd be around that age now, and there is absolutely no tiring her out. I could take her for 2 to 3 hours up and down the mountains, through forests, etc., come home, get showered, sit down, eat my dinner, and she's sitting with the ball at your feet ready to go again. There's absolutely nothing to tire out. So yeah, they're great company out on the mountains, but one of the things, be careful with some of the land that you cover. Farmers aren't very keen on dogs running through their land, so
because of the sheeps and or the sheep. Is it sheep? Is it sheeps or sheep?
Oh, I'll go with sheep. I'll go with sheep without the S. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound a bit silly when you say all the sheeps, but I don't know. There's some weird words out there, but yeah, that is cool. And tattoos.
Yes.
I noticed you have lots of tattoos. Do they mean anything, or do you just get them for the crack?
There are quite a few that mean something, and quite a few that were just on a whim. So I have probably the running related ones are probably the ones that mean the most to me. I have a phoenix on my leg from doing my first marathon whenever I was 33. So I only started running when I was 32. So it's just over 10 years. So these have only been amassed in 10 years. In fact, I shared a picture
impressive.
Yesterday or the day before yesterday was my first ever race at Belfast Half Marathon 10 years ago.
I've seen that.
So I've done that there. And yeah, the tattoos then that mean stuff would be the phoenix, just a first marathon, I can do this here. And then the 2 times that I've went over 100 miles in distance so far, I've them both tattooed on me. So I've done the Dublin to Belfast race, where you start at the Guinness Gates in Dublin, follow the R132. That road is ingrained in my memory forever. Through the countryside, through Drogheda, Dundalk, etc., and finishing at the Crown Bar in Belfast. And
what was your second 100?
And the second 100 was in Victoria Park, which was a completely different experience.
A 1 mile loop.
1 mile loop, around and around for 24 hours. So yeah,
so that explains
two
why
very different events.
See, I always talk to people on the show about the loop marathons. I really struggle. I need the adventure, but the other side of it is you have a picnic basket, and you come back to your picnic basket on every loop. It would drive me insane. I went down to support. Is it Lewis Smith? And I went down to support him at Victoria, and I ran a few laps with him, chatting away to him. And that was me. I was happy doing a few laps. And then, that's a 1 mile loop.
It is tougher. It is a lot tougher. The first time I attempted to go over 100 was at Victoria Park as well. And I failed. I only done 82 or 83 miles in the 24-hour period.
That's
and I
impressive.
Think it was because there was too many opportunities to stop. You're constantly at your, I'll just have a wee sit down here. I'll just have a wee sit down. Whereas when you're out doing a point-to-point ultra, you're just, I have to get to the next town. I have to cover the next 10 miles before I see anybody. There is no stopping here unless I sit roadside and ring somebody to come and pick me up. So that's where the next year I went back to do another attempt at the 100, and it was 107 miles to Dublin to Belfast. And I thought, well, it's a point-to-point. Just backpack on, let's just go for it. I have to run home because there's nobody going to pick me up, and that's effectively what it was.
So we're at the point in the show where obviously I'm in the show myself, and there currently is 2 idiots, and the other idiot, I would say it's a rest day for him. It's always a rest day for him, but he has a question for you.
Okay.
I suppose before we start, have you ever watched Back to the Future?
I have, yeah. The greatest trilogy of all time.
My favourite film of all time is Back to the Future. I love it. I love it all. The time travel, the DeLorean, the fun, the games, the comedy. I love it. But in your opinion, with reasons, who do you think would win in a foot race between Marty McFly and Biff? Say 5 times round the clock tower. Now there's no hoverboards, there's no manure, no shenanigans, just a straight foot race. 5 times round the clock tower. In your opinion, with reasons, who do you think would win?
Oh, that is a great question, isn't it? It's the hardest question I've probably been asked in the last 10 minutes. Now I'm going to have to try and work out. So around the clock tower, 5 times round it. Do we have a rough distance of around the clock tower?
I don't know. It doesn't really state in the Back to the Future movies how far around the clock tower is.
Yeah, is it like a block or is it just a single build? I would say, I was based on the physiological and the build of them, Biff would be a lot more explosive. He'd be more of a sprinter. Yeah. So I think Biff would go out really, really fast, really hard, and blow up after 3 loops of round the clock tower. And Marty would just take it nice and steady and just come through and take the win within the last lap. I think based on his build, Marty slightly shorter, scrawnier, skinnier, just has a little bit more endurance behind him. Biff and his ego would probably make him go out too fast and he'd blow up a little bit. So yeah, That's I think, yeah.
I
Marty
100%
Marty
agree.
for the win.
Marty for the win. I 100% agree with you, because that's taking the footwear. When you look at Biff in the future, and he's always wearing big boots. He's not wearing running shoes. Whereas I think Marty's always in the Nikes or Nikes, whatever way you want to pronounce it. He's always in the running gear. He looks like a runner, and I'm all for you. 100% agree with you. And you showed me a medal. Tell me about the medal. Tell me about the medal.
So one of my side businesses is called VirtualRunNI, where I design and create medals, and people sign up to it and complete the challenge. And whenever they complete the challenge, I post them with the medal. I have it very sort of bespoke to Northern Ireland. So most of the medals that I create are based on Northern Ireland things. So the DeLorean being made in Belfast was an easy one for me to pick. And yeah, the distance then that people have to complete generally relates to the either item, person, place, or whatever it may be. So that one's 88 miles for the 88 miles per hour that he hits to get back to the future. So yeah, there's quite a few of them there. You can probably see Goliath as well. It's a jigsaw medal, so it's actually, you've Samson and Goliath, and they come together as jigsaw pieces. And that one's 96k because Goliath is 96 meters tall. The Samson medal, which I don't have, is 106k because it's 106 meters tall. And I went a wee bit further with that, where that one's actually 9.6 centimeters and the other one's 10.6 centimeters as well in size. So yeah, I try to keep them all quite relative to the difference and things like that. So yeah, it's just a wee side line that I do. And it's sort of offshot from a running group that I'm part of called VirtualRunNI, which I created about 8 or 9 years ago as well, where a lot of sort of other types of idiots are in there, all very lovable idiots, but we all just run, and our so there's about 2,500 people in it, and our ethos is just wing it. You know, we talked about structured training, PBs and things like that. Generally, we just wing things, you know, just rock up and hope for the best. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, you are preaching to the choir, Declan. So medals. Are you doing another Back to the Future 88-mile VirtualRunNI anytime soon?
They're actually on my website because I've got a few of them available still.
What's your website?
So it's through the Facebook page, VirtualRunNI. So I still have a couple of those ones available. And over summer we done sort of like a bit of a clear out. So yeah, there's still a couple of them left. So
and
I will
how do you
send
do it?
you one if you can complete 88 miles within a certain period of time. We'll put a time limit on you. I don't generally put a time limit on people. I'll let them complete it as and when it suits them, because, you know, life happens and things like that. But let's say if we set you a target of 88 miles in under a month, you know, and you can do that. Once you have it completed, I'll post you out the medal.
Oh, wow. Declan, I think we have got Andrew's next challenge. So afterwards, I'm going to bring this to him, and Andrew is going to go on VirtualRunNI. Do you have to sign up?
On your case, no. I'll just reserve 2 medals for you. So yeah, absolutely no harm with that there.
I am super excited about this one. This actually could be, no offense to anybody who Andrew's got a medal of, but Andrew currently has, I think, 3 medals. So his curtain rail is slightly smaller than yours. so this could be his favorite medal of all time. And he was talking about getting a photo frame for his We Run Wild NI as a 100-miler one, and getting all set up with photos and all this nice stuff. But I reckon that DeLorean medal will be... He keeps on saying to me, he goes, Colin, like, I don't know, I think that could be me. But there's always something round the corner. When you get into running, Declan, tell me if this is true or not, you do something and you think, could that get any better? And then you realise the next week or two, you sign up and it can get better, and it does get better, doesn't it?
Absolutely. There's always an event. There's always something different, you know, and I think within running, there's something to suit everybody. You know, whether you are, you know, just brand new to the sport, or you're you know, in it for years and years and years, and there's distances to suit everybody, and there's events to suit everybody. You know, the likes of the We Run Wild event, it doesn't appeal to every single person out there. You know, people don't like being lost in the wilderness. People like that, marked courses, marshals closed roads, whereas, others like myself included, love the adventure of, running 3 miles down the wrong road
Yes.
at midnight, and you're like ringing Gary, where am I at? Go back to where you knew you were, and you'll find your place. And you're like, what? And he's like, yeah, just go back. Well, for flipping heck. So yeah, that was
Was that his words to you when you got lost once?
pretty much what it was. I get lost in the midnight marathon.
It sounds like Gary.
Yeah, a midnight marathon. So you start at midnight. You give the road book. So this is before they did the GPX on the watch. You give a road book with instructions, and the instructions could be run till you see a red telephone box and then turn left. And the instructions for the one that I get lost on was, come out of this road, turn left after the bus stop, follow the road until you see a gate on the right, go through the gate on the right. And I ended up like 3 miles past the gate on the right, and I was like, where am I at? Just go back to where you knew you were at, and you'll find where to go. And that's effectively what it was. I had to go traipsing back up this road, another 3 miles, back onto it, bus stop, right, I know I'm at the bus stop, look for a gate on the right. Oh, there's the gate on the right. Literally, it was 10 meters down that road. I was like, oh, I am so silly. Into Woodburn Forest at that point, came across a bunch of other runners. They're like, Declan, what are you doing here? You were way ahead of us. It's like, don't talk to me. I'm away. And that was it. So continued on running through and finished at about 5 in the morning instead of 4 in the morning. So a nice experience.
That's amazing. I love the running stories. I seen a event online, and it was something to do with you got to a place, you got on the bus, they dropped you off somewhere, and you had to find your way back to a certain location.
Yeah.
With no maps, no nothing. It's just first one back wins.
Yeah.
Yes, there are some for some races for people who like adventure. There's races like park runs for shorter distances. There's just all different types. There's people who just go out running and go into the mountains and take their dog and go for a run and camp. There's running and camping and running and camping. So there's everything for everybody, and running's so accessible, and it doesn't have to cost you the earth, does it really?
No, absolutely not. You don't have to enter events to sort of get the most out of it. You can just run for yourself. But some of us, as you can see with these medals, I get motivated by events and distances and bling at the end of it, So I need a target. I need a goal. I need something to work towards, If I was just, I'm just going to go running 4 times a week. What are you training for? Well, nothing. I'll end up running no times a week, because I don't have that event that I'm working towards. So for me, there needs to be a goal at the end of it, and if there's no medal in a race, there's no run from Declan, really.
Very good. And if there isn't a medal, you'll make your own.
Pretty much.
Thank you, Declan, so much for coming on Idiots Go Running. I could honestly talk to you for hours. I'll probably get you on next year at some stage as well, before the Northern Ireland 100, to get a catch up again, to see how your training's been going, or how you've injured yourself again a week before the event.
Yeah, absolutely.
No hurdles before the event. Learn from your mistakes.
Hurdles. Before the last one, I done some stupid things. I ran through the mornings. I done the 7-7s with no training whatsoever for it. My second time ever in the mornings by myself. Myself and Lee Vickery, who done the Northern Ireland 100 recently.
Yes.
We done the highest peak in every county in Northern Ireland in under a day. We did all of this here, and then of course I go and injure myself doing 1 lap of the track a week before the main event, but hey, that's the joys of it.
You were jumping over hurdles that you've never tried before, so...
Yeah, and I coach it, and I tell people how to do it properly, and then there's me coming along, and it's just like, oh my goodness me, I have just all technique without the window whenever the adrenaline kicked in. Not that I had much technique anyway, but yeah. But no, I'd be delighted to come back and chat about training, and hopefully get maybe chatting to you if you decide to train for it, and do some of the recce runs as well. That's always good to get those on.
Yeah, I want to go and see the areas I really struggled with the last time, and there's certain areas where I thought I just got lost and I didn't know where I was going, and then I was seeing people ahead of me, and then I was following other people who were lost, thinking they knew where they were going, and then there's people behind me thinking they knew where I was going. So it is an adventure. It is great crack, and I love the 100 miles. But Declan, thank you so much for coming on today. Did you enjoy it?
I did indeed, yeah. It was great. Nice to be on the other side of it, because I do listen. I listen, so yeah, thank you very much for the invite.
You do listen to the podcast, because you actually came out with a line or two, and I thought, wow, this guy listens. Makes me feel good, and it makes Andrew feel good as well. I feel like mini celebrities. If one or two people listen to the podcast, me and Andrew always said this in the beginning. We said, if it's only me and Andrew, or Andrew and myself, if it's only Andrew and myself listen to the podcast, then that makes us happy. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate your time, and I'm going to let you get back to your day job.
Awesome. Thank you very much.